children so we can pay tribute to country with the national anthem. Thank you very much. Honorable Ron Redhead, Minister responsible for Youth, Sports and Culture. The Senator Quince Britton, the CEO of Spice Mars, Mr. Cecil Noel, representative from the Grenada Tourism Authority, Ms. Nicoya Roberts, members of the Board of Directors of the Spice Mars Corporation, sponsors, good afternoon. Again, I would like to welcome you to St. Mark, to Victoria, to Hero Square, where we are about to witness the tradition, where we are about to witness culture at its best. It's the traditional Mars festival, a staple in Spice Mars celebration. We want to say thank you very much to everyone for coming out. We are going to have a brief opening ceremony, after which we are going to experience the parade of the bands, and later on we will have the judging. So without any further ado, I would like to invite to the microphone to bring to you a few remarks the Chief Executive Officer of Spice Mars Corporation, Mr. Cecil Noel.
Good afternoon, each and everyone, and welcome to Hero Square. A very pleasant afternoon to you, the people of Victoria, to you, the people of Victoria, the home of the VECO. We are extremely happy to be here with you today on this very special day, as we not only celebrate, but as we have fun and enjoy our traditional Mass with you. We know that as a parish, you are very pleased as being one of the parish well known for the traditional Mass, especially that of the VECO. So of course, being here with you, it's no strange feeling, because this is the home of the VECO. We are extremely pleased as well on behalf of Spice Mars to be associated with the government, and I take the opportunity at this point to say a very pleasant good afternoon to our Minister responsible for Youth, Sports and Culture, Honorable Ron Redhead, and of course to the Chair as well of Spice Mars, Mr. Kirk Ross, and to the other members of the board and those of you who came out, as well as to Ms. Nicoya Roberts. At Spice Mass, we have made it a very important trust this year to feature and highlight traditional mass. And one of the main reasons why we have decided to do that is because we see traditional mass as one of the key differentiator in that of the other islands when it comes to Spice Mass and in particular Carnival. Yes, there are a lot of Carnival in the other islands in the region, but when it comes to the traditional mass, we stand out here in Grenada as being the home, the original people of traditional mass. Whether it's the Veku, the Shortney, Moko Jambi, Wild Indian, and we know the list go on. So of course, as we welcome you here today, I also take the opportunity on behalf of the title sponsor for the festival, that's the Grenlec, to say a hearty welcome to you on their behalf. The person who was supposed to be here cannot be here for certain reasons, but they did in fact send to say greetings, and especially to the bands. As we celebrate, it is important to remember that when we have the support from these our corporate customers and corporate bodies, that it's important that we make the effort to not only work with them, but to make sure that as a people, that as bands and as band leaders, we make the effort to improve on what we're doing. So with the help of people like Grenlec, we would like to see the traditional mass bands grow in terms of the amount of bands that we have. We would like to see them grow in terms of the size of the bands. But maybe I should say most importantly, we would like to see the focus and attention of the traditional mass being placed on the youth of our country, being placed and positioned in schools, in our village, so that it will not die, but in fact, if we work with the young people, we'll see the further development of the traditional mass so that we can take its rightful place. I also want to say a very special thank you to the Grenada Tourism Authority, who have been and is continue to work with us to make sure that what we do in terms of working with the traditional mass is what will help us to sustain them. And so the Tourism Authority has worked with Spice Mass to ensure that we can go to the nooks and crannies, to the villages where the traditional mass exists, where they carry out and do the craft, so that we can document them for prosperity, so that we can have a good feel for what their needs are, what they want to do, what they see, and where they would like to see the traditional mass go. And we have been doing this for the last few months. We are really happy to be doing that. And at the end of this project, it is our hope that the documentaries will be made available so that they can be seen in the schools and people can be encouraged to be a part of the various traditional mass band. So again, thank you very much to the GTA. The event today is one where we expect approximately 16 different bands coming out to portray. And of course, part of the highlight of the portrayal is that they are going to be judged. We see it extremely important to listen to them. They said they wanted to be judged, and we are going to do this because we think it is important to listen to the stakeholders, work with them, because in so doing, we feel they will be motivated to step forward and do more. So the traditional mass will be judged, and we will end up with winners who will be so justly deserved for all the hard work that we know go into working with traditional mass. And so on behalf of the Spice Mass Corporation, on behalf of the board of directors, the staff, and the ministry, I say a very, very special and warm welcome to Sunset City and to all of you, the band players, the band leaders, and the patrons who come out to be with us today. Enjoy, have fun. Thank you.
CEO of the Spice Mass Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to recognize, and I did not do so before in the protocol, and I do apologize, but please allow me to recognize the chairman of the board, Mr. Kurt Ross. We're going to be moving on because I know that you're anxiously awaiting the bands. At this point, I would like to invite to the microphone a representative from the Grenada Tourism Authority, Mrs. Nikoyan Roberts, to bring to us a few remarks from the authority.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Minister Ron Redhead, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Senator Quince Britton, the Chairman of the Spice Mars Corporation, Mr. Kirk Ross, Chief Executive Officer of the Spice Mars Corporation, Mr. Cecil Noel, and the representative from ABC Bank, ACB Bank, Mr. Eddie Francis. Ladies and gentlemen, children, traditional mass players, on behalf of the Grenada Tourism Authority, it is my pleasure to greet you this afternoon as we assemble here for an amazing cultural display of creativity, color, vibrancy, and our heritage. The Grenada Tourism Authority sees this product as being essential to the continued development of Spice Mars as we really bring this culture alive in our schools, allowing our children to learn how to make these costumes, Vieco, Wild Indian, Shotney, and also to enjoy the ability to gain some commercial value out of the display of our heritage. We understand that it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of initiative, it takes vision, organizational skills, and strategic approach to ensuring that this art form does not die. And so this is the reason why the GTA is putting its efforts, its technical support, its financing behind such a product that adds to the overall fantastic exposure of the traditional mass and all of Spice Mars on the global stage. I just want to thank the organizers and thank all of the content gatherers, the videographers, the cameramen. I do want to recognize a representative from our diaspora, Mr. Junior George from Ride Along, who is here bringing the culture live from the streets of Victoria and into the hearts of Grenadians all over the world and especially in the New York area. We appreciate you being here. Celebrate the culture. Thank you. Enjoy. Have a safe and fantastic evening.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Roberts. And of course, we must say big up to all of our content creators and providers, those who are going live. For example, Mikey Live, big up to yourself, Mikey. Big up to Junior George and the Ride Along team and any other platform that is carrying this activity today. We say thank you very much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to introduce to you a son of the soil, Victoria, your very own. To bring to us a few remarks, let us please invite to the podium Senator Quince Britton.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. On the protocol established, I say a warm welcome to Sunset City in Victoria, and to you, the patrons who come out here, all the participants of this traditional mass. I feel so proud that over the many years we've been trying our very best to get the different stakeholders on board to recognize the importance of traditional mass. That is one of the reasons why we get to be a part of, on the Spice Mars calendar yearly, we host traditional mass here in St. Mark. And there's always room for improvement. However, it cannot be done without you, the people of St. Mark. So I encourage each one of you to let us join together. Let us work together with the Spice Mars Corporation and we can make it a bigger, better in 2024. As we approach 50 years of independence, next year I expect us to have at least 50 of those traditional mass bands, and the majority have been very biased. On Veco band from Victoria, from Waltham, from Coast-Guard, just name it, throughout St. Mark. And I'm thrilled to hear the Tourism Authority will be partnering with the government of Grenada or through the Ministry of Education in teaching the traditional aspect of mass in school. Because if we do not know our history, we tend to lose it. And this is something that has been plaguing us for so many years. Most people, we go ahead, we do things, but we do not know, how it has started and all of that. So we are here. I am thankful for the Spice Mass Corporation in giving us that opportunity so that we, again, could showcase our talent. And next year, God's willing, Minister, I promise you, it will be bigger and better. So enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Please, outside is very hot. I encourage you to stay hydrated. The sun is very hot. Enjoy the rest of it. Be safe. Have a safe carnival. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator Britton. I'm now going to invite to the microphone the Minister with responsibility for youth, sports and culture in the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports and Culture, Honorable Ron Redhead, to bring to us a few remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremony, Mr. Nivian Cox. Chairman of Spice Mass, Mr. Kurt Ross. Senator Quince Britton. CEO, Mr. Cecil Noel. Other board members, stakeholders, GTA representative, Mrs. Nikoyan Roberts. Some showers of blessings. Sunset City. You look like we're shining at the moment. Let's just make the adjustments as the rain comes. But I will still proceed. That's part of it. Yeah. I want to go. Right. Yeah. We good to go? How we doing? Sunset City? Come up. All right, Spice Mass CEO wants me to come up on the stage. That is a good thing or a bad thing? All right. Thank you, Mr. Cecil. So Sunset City, after those showers of blessings, let me take the opportunity to welcome you to this special occasion. It is important that today we recognize and celebrate our traditional mass. There is no better place to celebrate our tradition than here in the beautiful parish of St. Mark. And we must ensure that from here onwards, greater interest and investment is placed not only for hosting this event, but to ensure that we bolster Grenada's capacity to teach and to make the costumes that are all on display here. The Ministry of Culture is pleased to announce that by year end, we would have invested in building the capacity to train future Calypsonians, future soca artists, and future pan lovers by institutionalizing the training through the NTA and our schools. This, we believe, will ensure the sustainability of our traditional aspects of mass, and we look forward to expanding that. As part of our vision of evolving the product of Spice Mass, we must ensure that we invest in its development, which feeds into the quality of product that we market. That is why we have introduced, in principle, and to commence in September of this year, the teaching of Grenada's history. As we prepare to move to 50 years of independence celebration, we must be prepared to know and to teach our history. And this, we believe, is critical for the way forward. So I will end here with the creative words by one of our soca artists, Mr. Robilus, we will ensure that we hold it, our tradition. Bar it in this land. One love, Sunset City. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. A gentleman who always has the right words in the right for the right moments. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for the parades of the band. Let me explain to you what will be taking place. The bands will be leaving here, Hero Square. They will be parading up Cruikshank Road. That's this road right here to my right. They are going to get down to the intersection over to Henry Street. Over to Henry Street, where they will make their way back up to Hero Square using the Diamond Street Road. So again, the bands are going to leave Hero Square, go up Cruikshank Road, come down Henry Street, and then back up Diamond Street right here at Hero Square. And of course, after that, we are going to have the judging of the bands, where we are going to see them individually. We are going to hear the chants of the Jab Jab, the chants of the Shotney, the chants of the Vaco. We are going to see what the Sailor Mass has to offer, and all the others, ladies and gentlemen. It's about that time of the afternoon where we are ready to experience tradition at its best. Traditional mass right here inside of Victoria St. Mark's. And of course, each and every one of you, you are welcome to parade around Victoria with the band. Capture those moments. Make sure at least we can document everything that's taking place here this afternoon. And as soon as we get the signals, the bands will be able to move. All right, so before we start, we're asking all the bands to please gather around the square. So all the bands, we're asking to please gather around the square. That's the area with the roundabout. We're asking you to please gather here, and then you'll start. We would like to, of course, show the spectacle that is our traditional mass. So all bands, you're asked to please gather around the roundabout. That is where we will begin, and we'll make our way around the route provided and back up to the square. So all bands, you're asked to please gather around the square. So the Shortneys, the Shakespeare Mass, the Apaches, you're asked to please gather around the square where we will start. So we're asking you to please gather around so that we can have the official start. I see the Vecos are here. Shotneys are approaching. Yeah. Somebody stop the Shotneys. Tell them to stay right here. They can stay right here. Right here? Yes. We have the Shakespeare Mass. So let's ask them to stay right here before we move. While Indians are already out in front, St. Patrick's Apache, Merle Britton and Associates, the Shakespeare Mass will be next. We have the Grenada Moko Jumbies, followed by Marley Shotney, Tivoli Veteran Shotney, Armitage Shotney will follow. Armitage Shotney will follow, so you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Yes. Upper St. Mark Shotney, you can continue. You can go ahead as well. Rose Hill Shotney. And I notice we have Subi Shotney as well. Once you hear your name, you can continue on the parade route. All right? Yes, once you hear your name, you'll continue on the parade route. And we ask you to please remain in your respective orders as you make your way